Hi everyone, my name's Irene Surridge. Some of you might know me, some of you not. Adam has kindly asked me to help with this amazing event that he's putting together today for mental health awareness. And he's asked me if I can talk about exercise in relation to mental health. I'll just tell you a little bit about me so you can understand my background and where I come from. I'm the oldest of 8 kids. I have 6 brothers and a sister, and was brought up in a very abusive and alcoholic household. There was lots of violence, some things that I find really difficult to talk about. I have lots of triggers that caused me to be diagnosed with PTSD probably about 7 or 8 years ago, I think. Maybe not so long, maybe 6 years. But anyway, I have PTSD and lots of triggers from my childhood. Lots of things that make me sometimes feel like I'm not good enough. I'm not attractive enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm definitely not tall enough. My dad threatened to kill me once, told me he would do time for me, and I was about 9. He told me I was, ugly, all these things that stick with you as an adult and just make you feel a bit pants about yourself. So I was always hungry. That was the other thing. I was always hungry as a child. I always remember going to bed hungry. I'd sometimes try and sneak downstairs. I'd even drink vinegar. I was once caught stealing some grated cheese, which I got into massive trouble. Got a really good belt in for that. But as a child, I was very, very hungry. So I also grew up with this relationship with food that wasn't always healthy. So I have lots of little issues that all stem from my childhood. In addition to my own father, there were also 3 other abusers when I was 3, 7 and 10. With my father included, there were 3 sexual abusers and 1 very physical. I was 3 very physical beatings as a child. So you can imagine all of this impacts on your mental health as you grow up and how you see yourself as an individual compared to the rest of the world. So anyway, when I left home, I discovered food. I spent all of my, I bought my own house, I went shopping, I bought all these things that I could never have before, and basically stuffed my face until I became a lot larger than I was. So I went from a size 6 to an 8, because I'm only 5 foot, to a size 16 within the space of 12 months. And then I battled with food. From then on, I battled. I decided to go to a slimming club. The lady there was very, very nice, but I don't think she had any idea about nutrition. She gave me 1,000 calories a day. And of course, I would fill it with, I'd have a Mars bar, a couple of crispy Findus pancakes. And when I went for my weigh-in and I was successful, I'd go and treat myself to a McDonald's. So I had no idea about what I was putting in. So then I became so scared about losing the weight, I started to train, exercise, but couldn't give up the binge eating. So I used to binge eat and then go and throw up. So I suffered from bulimia for a while. So all of these little things that added up stemmed back to my childhood, because I still didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel pretty enough. I didn't feel tall enough. I didn't feel, attractive enough, clever enough. And I still have issues in groups of people when I speak. Do I sound a bit silly? Do I know what I'm talking about? And even things like this make me really nervous, although it probably doesn't seem that way. But I'm good at covering it. Anyway, as time went on and I got more and more into fitness, I became a fitness instructor. And my experience of my first class, because I was so overweight, wasn't very good. So my goal was to go and get real people in a gym, people like me with no confidence, exercising. Get them moving, doesn't matter how. And that's what I did. Now, here I am. I'm on my way to 47 years of age, and I've been teaching this stuff since my early 20s. I've been through an awful lot of learning curves with my own health, my own nutrition, and I finally studied nutrition about 7 years ago with GP referral, and then studied older adults and movement. Now, despite my childhood, despite all of those triggers, I don't ever really have a down day. I don't feel depressed. I can have days, time of the month where you're a bit agitated, but that's pretty normal. So I control my mood with exercise, and I'm very dedicated to promoting exercise to help with mental health and anxieties. These days, we are surrounded by so many pressures, how we should look in a magazine, and those pictures, by the way, are airbrushed within an inch of their life. They don't really exist, yet that's what we aspire to look like, but it's a false image. It doesn't exist. So we put ourselves in these situations where we want to be something that we're not. I'm 5 foot. I am never going to be Cindy Crawford or Claudia Schiffer or some really tall model walking down a catwalk. I am not built like that. It would, it's not going to be. So my aspirations have to be realistic. But you can do anything you want to do. And mental health and physical fitness is so closely related. I work with an awful lot of people that have different things, different conditions, anxiety issues. They might be fighting illnesses. They might be going through cancer. They might have had limbs amputated. Like me, they might have had an abusive background, rape, you name it. People have been through it. And people that you walk by every day, or people that you might not know are going through these anxieties. Now, how do we deal with this? When other people do things to us and make us feel less than we are, or even if not, even if you put yourself under these massive pressures of what you see on Instagram, what you see on Facebook, when people do these, lovely pouty selfies and they turn on a certain angle, and when they're posing they turn on a certain angle, and then they airbrush it and they look absolutely stunning. It's not real because it's airbrushed, yet we still look at these images and think, why don't I look like that? Why can't I be like that? Instead, why don't you think, or try and think, I am perfect just the way I am? Many of us have this stick and we belt ourselves on the head with it all of the time. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not handsome enough. My hair's not good enough. My legs are too short. My legs are too fat. My tummy's too fat. My bum's too flat. I want a thigh gap. I'm not eating right. I don't look like that. I want to look like that. I want a car like that. I want a house. Why haven't I got that? All these things are really superficial. And when you look at you as a whole, you need to have some affirmations of I am beautiful just the way I am. I am perfect just the way I am. And know that whatever creator, whatever you believe in, whatever God or just nature, you were created as this perfect, unique being. There is only one and only you. Now, if you look at me, if I look at me, if I'm really picky, I go, I don't like my teeth. These are too crowded at the bottom. I was hit by a car when I was 10, so these were smashed out. At the same time, my nose was smashed a bit, so my nose is very broken. My eyebrows are too far apart. I've got really bad frown lines, but I won't have anything done because this is me. I've just had a really serious operation and I've got a lovely scar across my neck. But this is me, and everything, every journey, every chapter, every challenge I faced is written on me. So my car accident, my serious operation where I was paralyzed, nearly paralyzed from the neck down, is a chapter in my book. And these are scars that you can see. The scars that people caused when I was a youngster, you can't see. And these are the things that I understand we battle every day. So exercise is imperative to me. It's part of my life. It's part of my discipline. And I've had a few questions thrown at me, so I just want to go through it. So someone has asked, how has fitness helped you with your body confidence and your anxieties? So fitness has helped me realise that I am strong, I am healthy, I am not underweight, I'm not overweight. And when you look at me, I'm very, very short, I'm very, very strong. I didn't like that when I was younger. I wanted to be tall, thin, I wanted to get the skinniest jeans on, and I wanted to be as thin as possible, which isn't healthy, of course. So my own body confidence was almost, the one thing I did, I competed. I wanted to compete, but I was always embarrassed to do it. I did it. The moment I got on stage, the one person that I felt like I'd beaten, like I stuck my middle finger up to, was my father. That I'm not ugly, I am worth it, I can do it. And all of a sudden, he goes into thin air. He's dead. He doesn't mean anything to me now. But he was the demon that I was fighting. That's how I did it. I did something that I'd always wanted to do, but didn't have the confidence to do. I fought it. I faced my demons. It was dead nerve-wracking, and I was nearly sick before I got on that stage. But hey, I did it. In the end, I did it 3 times and I got a first. I won an amateur world championship in my category. Done. Anybody that's ever knocked me down, I kind of went, see, I could do it. And all of a sudden, my confidence, boom. So I did something that I was scared to do. And guess what? Nothing bad happened. And it turned out really great. So what do you feel we should be doing to be more positive and support each other? Be kind. Be kind. Every day, or as often as you can, random acts of kindness. I try and do things for lots of people. I won't say what they are because they're private to some people. But, you know, I don't know, I saw 2 little girls struggling on bikes a few weeks ago with their bikes packed with boxes, and they were dangerously near the road. I stopped the car, I got all the boxes in my boot, and I followed these little girls home. Obviously this sounds a bit weird, doesn't it, following little girls home, but I followed the girls home. I unloaded my boot with their boxes because they were moving house. The mum said thank you, and away I went. I'll get out my car, I'll push a car, I'll often say to somebody, my gosh, you look fantastic, or, you know, anything. A little hedgehog house, we bought a hedgehog house for the garden. We're feeding a hedgehog. I've rescued birds, tiny little birds that have been hitting the road. But random acts of kindness towards each other not only makes that person feel good, it makes you feel good. So to support each other more, be kind. Think about what you're saying to people. You know, if you say to somebody, you're too skinny, you've lost too much weight, you don't look very well, or, God, you look tired, instead of, God, you look amazing, or you're looking fantastic. Try not to be negative with people. Be kind. Has food had any impact on me and my health? Definitely. So I track everything I eat. I make sure that I eat a good range of food with all my macros, fats, proteins and carbs. You can see behind me, I love a good bowl of fruit. There's a massive bowl of fruit there with loads of pears. I eat lots of veg. I drink loads of water. I am really, really careful with what I eat. If I fall off that wagon and I eat some rubbish, guess what? I feel poopy pants. So food has a massive impact. So if you can eat well, you feel well, your body feels well, you don't feel sluggish. So definitely food is a massive impact. What has helped me over the last 6 months within the current climate? On lockdown, I've already mentioned the scar on my neck. I was rushed by ambulance to Coventry Hospital where I was told if I didn't have an emergency operation, I would be paralysed from the neck down. Massive shock to me, because I do all of this fitness, I keep myself extremely healthy, so it was a huge blow. And to be told that I was potentially facing death or paralysis was a massive shock. And when my husband and my son and my mom left me before the operation, I didn't know if I could ever lift my arms and hug them again. When I came round from that operation and could move, it was pure elation. I can't tell you how elated I was to just be able to do that, to hug my son. And everything started from scratch again. Of course, I couldn't lift weights. I couldn't even climb the stairs. I was pulling on the banister, you know, I was one step at a time, slowly at a time. I was shuffling around the block. Now 6 months on, I'm weight training again, I'm running again, I'm teaching classes online. I'm full pelt. I saw my surgeon 2 days ago, and the surgeon says, apart from jumping out of planes, I am good to go. My life is back on. Without exercise, without that goal of what can I do next? Can I walk a bit further around the block? When can I get up those stairs without hanging on? When can I climb those stairs several times without feeling massively in pain, out of breath? So those are my goals. And if you can set yourself goals, so if you are new to exercise, how many times a week can you get out for a walk? Even if it's a 10-minute walk, 15-minute walk, go 2-3 times a week. Get outside, look at the sun. Well, we live in the UK, but look at the sky, the grey skies. It doesn't matter if the sun isn't shining. There are people I know who have lost loved ones who would have given another day, anything, another day to see that sky. Doesn't matter whether it's black, grey, blue, green. Go outside, look at the trees, listen to the birds, listen to kids laughing, watch people cycle past you. And life can be very beautiful, but we tend to look at the negative stuff a lot. So the last 6 months, and you know, my work stopped. I was out of work all of a sudden. What did I do to stay positive? For me, in my life, my glass is always half full, always. And whatever happens, I think, what can we get out of this? What's the best thing we can get out of this? Now, I know there are some things that people have gone through that you will never get over. And you probably get up every day, you breathe in and out, you go to bed. And there are some things I haven't experienced and I don't ever want to experience. I get that, I do get that. But if you are not living with those type of things, move, get out and move. Or, you know, put some music on, put your favourite tracks on and dance around the living room. And that's saying dance like nobody's watching. You know, 2 nights ago, I went to see the surgeon, and with that news and the elation, I came home, I put on my rubber gloves, this is how rock and roll I am. I started cleaning the bathrooms. This is something I couldn't do when I had all my symptoms come with this neck. I couldn't dance because I couldn't feel my arms and my legs. And all of a sudden, I'm able to clean my bathrooms and I'm able to dance. 2 simple things. It wasn't about how great I look in a selfie. It wasn't about how amazing my car is. It wasn't about how beautiful my home is, or what handbag I carry, or what designer shoes I have. It's not about that. Exercise is about you and your internal health. So I would urge you to just get out and move. Now, there's lots of stuff on YouTube. I put free YouTube workouts on. If you're feeling really stressed, yoga, meditation, I can't recommend enough. You could go out for a run. You don't need any fancy trainers. The ones I've got on here, they're very, very raggedy. See if I can show you. They're very old. They're about 4 years old. You don't need anything posh. This is I think a £2 jobby from, it was in the sale at New Look. So you don't need anything posh. You haven't got to look a certain way. Just get out there. Put whatever you've got on. Get out there. Go run. Go walk. And if not, yes, stay at home online. I teach all my classes online now, apart from 2, which I teach in the park. So there's lots of opportunity now, particularly if you're a person that doesn't like going to a gym, because that's really scary. You know, going into a gym, whether it's a weight section or whether it's your first time in a studio, it's probably harder for you to walk through those doors than it is to do the class. But the beauty of it is now, many of us instructors, many of us fitness professionals are teaching online. We are streaming right into your living room. You haven't got to go anywhere. You haven't even got to have a shower. So it's never been a better time to exercise and make yourself feel fantastic about you, about who you are. So I would urge you to give it a try. Now I'm just going to read some of the comments that my clients have put on. I've asked them how they found mental health and exercise. So exercise has kept me sane during lockdown. I was furloughed, so my daily routine was gone. I made the most of the beautiful countryside, fantastic, where I live, and took daily walks in the fresh air. And they also signed up to a fitness provider online. Okay, this one, let's have a look. The first step into exercise is always the hardest, but once I start, I instantly feel good. If I don't exercise for a while, I feel like I trudge through life. I couldn't have put that better myself. You do, you feel like you're trudging through life. I get negative thoughts about myself and how others see me. When I do exercise, I honestly feel invincible. Problems are still problems, but I can handle them so much easier. I've learned to stop forcing myself to do what I don't enjoy. Exercise shouldn't be what everyone else is doing, but what you enjoy doing, even if it's whacking on your favourite music and dancing around the living room. Exercise is a celebration of what my body can do rather than a punishment. And she says, I have you to thank for that, Irene. Thank you very much. Now, this particular lady is very, very dear to me. She has an anxiety disorder and she's gone from a size 24 to a size 10, and we've been working together now for 3 years. And she's put, it's a very difficult thing to explain, but exercise is a medicine for me in a very real way. If I don't exercise, I start to feel very low, worthless and sluggish. And my condition really takes over, even though there are days I really have to push myself to keep going. I know that when I'm done, I feel so much better about myself. And I like the effect it has on me mentally and physically. I just feel better. I have to get into a very disciplined rhythm. And that's the key, discipline, because we're not always motivated to do this. It's discipline. I only have 2 rest days. It's absolutely saved me, and as a result, I'm no longer medicated. The bonus is I've met some lovely like-minded people that keep me going, and I have an amazing mentor and friend in you, Irene Surridge. That's so nice, I pay her well. My body feels and looks better than it's been for years. It feels and looks better, she looks amazing, but she's not going to say that because sometimes she still has that stick. She beats herself with a stick. But she is amazing. She keeps going and nothing beats her. Other people have put that it helps them fight depression. It makes them feel better about themselves, physically, mentally. And don't forget, the science is there. It increases your hormone, your feel-good hormone levels, and it releases your cortisol stress. So I can't emphasize enough how important it is for you to get out and move. And if you start doing this and people say, oh, what are you doing that for? Mentally, you know why. So I hope that's given you a little bit of an insight into exercise. And again, you know, if you don't want to go out there running, do some squats. set yourself up some leg exercises. So you could do 10 squats, 10 lunges, stair walks, 3 up and down, do the whole thing again. You could get a couple of tins of beans, shoulder press, side raise, back row. You can do all of this. You can hold a plank. You can do a press up against a wall or on a floor. You can do 50 high knee sprints or 50 high knee marches. God gave us these joints, or whatever your belief is, to move. He didn't give us these perfect bodies to sit on our bums all day. He gave us the gift of movement. Or somebody gave us the gift of life. We get one life. Live it. Enjoy it. Learn to see the beauty in everything you do. You know, would I have seen the beauty of cleaning my bathrooms before this? Nope. So the fact that you can do those little things, you know, wiggle these fingers, you know, scratch your head, pick your nose, wiggle your toes. What a bonus in life. Please, I urge you, get out there and move. If you want to follow me, I'm on YouTube under Irene Surridge. It's free to subscribe. It's free to follow me. There are workouts on there. There's exotic advice on food, macronutrients, why am I putting on weight, overcoming objections, if you're in a coercive relationship, whether that's with friends, partners, family, and how to overcome a lot of things that we tend to face in the year 2020. How can we beat it? How can we feel good about life when everything seems so negative? And sometimes my husband will say to me, I'll be glad when this year is over. It's not been kind to us. In my mind, it has, because it could have been much worse. I could have been paralysed from the neck down. And here I am. So for me, 2020, yes, there was lockdown. I had no work, but I could dance around that living room in my rubber gloves, singing to Whitney Houston. So everything's a bonus. I wish you well. I wish your mental health well. There are going to be tough days. I know that, because that's life. That's the beauty of life. But don't those tough days make you stronger? And somebody said to me this morning, who has gone through breast cancer and is probably one of the bravest women I know. And she's been exercising with me where she could all the way through her treatment. She doesn't mind me mentioning her. I won't say her name just in case, but I'll talk about her. And she said, the only reason you should look back is to see how far you've come. So let's get moving, folks. Happy lives. Enjoy your life. Peace out. Loads of love wherever, whoever you are. Mwah, mwah, mwah.